This weekend, NASCAR race in the Valley of the Sun for the 26th time. The first race, 1988. Alan Kulwicki won that race. Who will win in April of 2009? Well, whoever wins this race is going to have to come through Jimmy Johnson, trying to win 4 consecutive races here at EIR. Glad you're with us for Trackside Live, Friday night TV show that's turned into a party. Jeff Hammond, Larry McReynolds, Steve Burns alongside Darrell Waltrip, and so glad you all are with us here. Beautiful weather, beautiful crowd.
I think Darrell.
My kind of people.
Darrell said it today on one of our practice shows. I think no matter whether you're a race team, part of a broadcast team, or the fans, you love coming to Phoenix International Raceway. It doesn't matter if we come in the spring or the fall, just the atmosphere, the weather, the racing we have here. It's like the perfect little size racetrack, 1 mile.
Darrell, I hear all the drivers say almost the same thing, which is very unusual, I should add. They say Phoenix is fun, but it's challenging.
Well, it is, and it's a 1 mile racetrack, but it's got a lot of character. It's a kind of racetrack where the driver really works hard. You drive off into turn 1 at a really high rate of speed, probably 150 miles an hour. You got to be able to play with the pedals. You got to use the brake pedal gently, but you got to get the car slowed down. Then getting off turn 2, that wall over there, man, that sucker will jump out and grab you just like that, Burns.
Scared me.
You got to be careful. Then you got the dog leg. You got to clip that dog leg, clip that little dog leg, swing out next to the wall, sing her down into turn 3, and then rock it up off turn 4. That's fun, man, and you do it all in 40 seconds.
Yeah, but you scare me, which is a perfect segue to Jeff Hammond. There's rattlesnakes here.
Yeah, there's rattlesnakes here. Yeah, if you go up on the hill over there, I mean, but you stay away from
no, we meant right here.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll pass on that.
Go ahead.
I mean, it's nice to be. The thing is right now that concerns me, you're talking about character and working hard, all that coming from you.
I said drivers.
Oh, okay. All right.
You know,
but the thing is right now,
it's a large group of us.
What I will agree with you on is the fact that this racetrack is a challenge for everybody, including the crew chief. Because you get an opportunity, if you can get that car dialed in right, and Darrell's already alluded to it, this place has got character. You can't just make the car run through 1 and 2 and expect it to be perfect in 3 and 4. You've got to get it to where it's balanced for both ends of the racetrack, and it allows him to take advantage of what he can do best, which I think is attack turn 3. That's a place where you can make up a lot of speed if your car's working right. You can really get underneath guys, drive in there, cut it to the bottom of the racetrack, and come back up that front straightaway. And really, it's the kind of racetrack I think that every crew chief loves to be able to get to because they can make a difference.
Well, what's the hardest thing nowadays with these cars is the bump stops. And the way you come down the straightaway, and you have to get on the brakes hard because you're going fast. If you bounce that car down to the bump stops, it wants to hit them and jump up in the air and slide up the racetrack. So that's why I work in both pedals. You got to be able to play with that brake pedal getting down in the corner and not get the car all crazy upset and sliding up the hill. Crew chief can't fix that.
All you can do is rely on the driver to have what you used to have pretty good when it come here. I love racing here with you. Finesse.
Oh, yeah.
You got to have finesse.
He just complimented him.
I did.
That's
he said he liked he liked working with me back then. I'm not so sure about now.
Highly unusual. It's time now for our Shell Garage, and we have a couple of big topics to catch up on because we were not here last weekend. Sprint Cup Series had the weekend off, so boys, I want to go back to Texas. I'm not going to talk about Jeff's outfit. I want to talk about Jeff Gordon breaking a 47-race winless streak and winning for the first time ever, Larry Mack, at Texas.
I think it was inevitable, the way he's been running this year, and actually the way he ran the end of last year, that it was only a matter of time before Jeff Gordon got back to victory lane. You know, Daryl and Mike and I sat down with Jeff a few weeks ago, and he was very honest. He said, you know, so many things have happened in my life over the last couple of years. I got remarried. I became a dad. And he said, I've been kind of searching the balance between being a dad for the first time and still pursuing my career as a race car driver. He was also very honest. His back had been bothering him. He came into 2009 with all those things in balance, and I think his performance on the racetrack has been showing that.
Well, you know, Larry, the thing about it is it was an unexpected win. It was unexpected that Jeff Gordon was going to win at Texas because he never had. We pointed that out a number of times. It was so unexpected that who wasn't even there? His wife,
And Ella
wasn't there, and neither was Rick Hendrick. So when Jeff Gordon drives into victory circle, he looks around and says, hey, where is
he had to talk
everybody?
to him all by cell phone.
Yeah, Rick, are you there?
Right there.
He even lost a phone call.
I won Texas.
All right, well, our second topic here in the Shell Garage. Ooh, it was a tough day on pit road for Roush Fenway Racing. Greg Biffle had trouble. Late in the race, guys, Carl Edwards came in, lost 11 spots on pit road, effectively handing the race over.
Yeah, and I mean, Jeff and Larry can probably address this better than I because I've never changed a tire on the car. I've torn up some and blown out some, but I've never changed any of them. I know that lug stud has got to be a little bit longer, and that's got to be part of the problem. And you said lug nuts are.
I think one of the biggest things they were fighting, yeah, it had to do with lug nuts. But what we were hearing, and if you think about it, most of their problems was in the second part of the race. And the lug nuts are glued on these wheels, the fresh wheels and tires going on, with a yellow weather strip adhesive. And there's a time that you have to allow that glue to set up. And what I'm hearing, Jeff, and I think you heard the same thing, is there were some wheels and tires that were mounted up late in the race that maybe the yellow glue didn't have a chance to set up.
It didn't get a chance to cure out, but it still doesn't eliminate the fact that, you know, what we're talking about here is these guys, you're watching them, this is what they do. They put the glue around it, they put those on the wheel, and they allow them to glue up so they can make these quick tire changes. But still, the mistakes that these teams have made all year long have got them in trouble. I mean, even when we did our pre-race interview with Carl Edwards, he was concerned about his crew and what was going on pit road. And you cannot go into a race feeling like you can't have confidence that when you come down pit road, you can hold serve, as we like to say. You come in first, you need to go out first, or no worse than second. I mean, you know, it's okay if a guy smokes you because they have a great pit stop, but you don't need to have a bad pit stop. And that was, you know, but any stretch of the imagination, it was a bad pit stop.
Well, you know what? At California, I recall, you were all up on the chip screaming and hollering that the driver screwed up, Greg Biffle, but I didn't hear a word out of you Sunday when.
Look, I didn't have to because the
crew
fact
was screwing up.
The crew made the mistake. And I will stand here and say, when you guys do wrong, you do wrong. But this right here, the driver overshot.
That's California.
Road.
Well,
but he overshot it.
But
right there.
he's in his box.
It don't matter. You got a mark, you got a pit sign, and that's where you belonged. And that's not what he did. He came in, he overshot it. He is the mark. The rear tire's where the front tire's supposed to be. Daryl, that's the driver doing that, not the crew chief or the tire changer.
I think we need to clear something up. What we just saw. That first shot you saw. That was from Texas that Greg Biffle had that issue. The second shot was from California, so that's twice that he's had a good enough race car to maybe win the race. He's got to pitted deep in his box.
But at least he found his box.
He did. I think it's also...
Where are you going with that now, huh?
I think
get Dale and our junior fans after you.
I think it's also important to point out, we don't want to make anybody look bad, but I've also heard there already been some personnel changes on pit road, just like any other team would do.
You make a mistake, you pay the price. I mean, unfortunately, we know what we're talking about here. Corey Quick is no longer changing tires on the 99 car this week. So, you know, it's a tough business, and you've got to be, you know, accountable for what goes on. And undoubtedly, the people who reviewed the film said, hey, it doesn't work, and they made changes.
If you don't go to break, you're going to be accountable for not taking the break.
Is that it? I wonder what that meant. This guy in my ear was wearing me out.
I glued my lug nuts. Time for the Advanced Auto Parts Who's On Tonight. Coming up, David Stremme and Martin Truex Jr. We'll be right back.
Trackside is presented by new Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines and brought to you in part by Victory, the new American motorcycle.
Trackside Live, back at the Phoenix International Raceway. Please welcome now, join us in welcoming David Stremme, driver for Penske South.
How you guys doing?
Hey, what's going on, Dave?
Not too much. Busy day.
Busy day, that's right, man.
Running
It's
around.
definitely kind of crazy out here in Phoenix.
It is that.
How's your day been?
It's been okay. You know, we come in here in the Penske Dodge with no notes, anything, relying on our teammates. And Kurt run well here in the fall. And a lot of teams have stepped up. And we've been kind of around, I would say, 14th to 18th, right in there throughout practice. And just really getting a feel of what I want in the car. And we've been doing that a lot of places that we go. And Kurt, you know, he found some speed there towards the end, so we're going to go look at what he found and try to put that in our car.
You know, David, you drove 2 full seasons in the Sprint Cup Series for Ganassi Racing. It was kind of a bumpy couple of years. I saw where you were on a teleconference. What's that?
That's no lie.
Well, I saw that on a teleconference, or was listening to you the other day that you did earlier in the week, and someone asked, did you feel like that you got a second shot at it with this Penske deal, and you pretty much stopped them in their tracks? You said, honestly, I felt like my second shot was last year when Rusty Wallace put me in that Nationwide Series.
Yeah, and Rusty asked me to come over there and drive his car, and I felt like we did a lot with starting a second team there, with having an independent Nationwide team. We were strong each week, and really built the organization up. And then, of course, him and Roger are really good friends, and they asked me to go test for him. So we were doing that, and lo and behold, I end up in the 12. So it kind of goes back to Rusty's program, but you know, I always try to surround myself with really good people, and with doing that with Rusty, I was able to learn quite a bit from him, because every place I was at, I really never had an experienced driver to lean on. Juan Pablo, I learned a lot from him, just mentally, knowing how to race, but now with having Kurt as a teammate, you know, getting to drive for Rusty, I could still go talk to Rusty, and like at Richmond, I think he made me a better driver there, better at Bristol. I'm gonna still talk to him about Pocono coming up, because he got around there really well, along with my teammates. So, you know, I lean on them guys, and I'm able to learn more.
David, I'll be the first to admit, you know, sometimes us as a group, we're too deep in the forest. You know, I look at your record, you've already got 3 top 20 finishes. The difference between a top 20 and a top 10 is what? I mean, it's so close, but what does it take to get there?
What I see is I've got 3 finishes that should have been in the top 10. You know,
Especially
Bristol,
at Texas, I think.
Oh yeah, and I screwed up there. I got up in where the floor dry was at and right-sided it, and I told Roger that, you know, I used my car up, and cost us a top 10. But at Bristol, we were coming through there, got in a little incident early, but we were still running well, and we had a left rear go flat, and that took us out of contention there. So there's a lot of places, but again, if we're just competitive each week and keep building on that, we come back to a lot of these places, we're going to be a lot stronger.
So how's your confidence? I mean, you kind of seem like you're really getting legs under you with this in the Penske organization. And I think we talked to Kurt a couple of weeks ago. He said really a lot of new people that they'd brought in, engineers, and the cars seem to be much better this year, even for the guys that have been there a while. How's your confidence with the organization?
I feel my confidence is really good as far as my place within the organization. One of the biggest things I've seen throughout this year compared to last year is how everybody's moving in one direction. Everybody is talking. We all come to the track with pretty close same setups. We can work and learn off of one another. And really, they did bring a couple new people in, but Roger really just, you know, moved some people around. Like my engineer off of my car come from the 2. And we did all this in trying to get everybody moving in the right direction. And I think it's helped quite a bit. And especially, you know, Kurt's a lead guy there. He's doing very well. And Sam, you know, this is his 2nd year. And I'm coming back where we don't have any notes. And I'm going to a lot of places. I haven't run this new car. And I felt like we're doing okay, but we could be a lot better. And when we all kind of get going and get better, I think it's going to help Kurt, myself, Sam, everybody. So I feel good where I'm at. I feel good with the people I'm working with. And we just got to get better results.
And Darrell, his engineer is named Brian Wilson, but he's not one of the Beach Boys.
Oh.
So don't get confused.
His name's not Derek, is it?
No.
Yeah, as long as
It's not Derek, I'm okay.
get those guys mixed up. More with David Stremme coming up. But meanwhile, to locate campgrounds near Talladega, Larry.
Talladega!
Visit GoRVing.com. You'll also find virtual RV tours, a free DVD offer,
Junior!
an RV dealer, and rental locations in your area. Trackside Live back at Phoenix International. More with David Stremme coming up right now. Time for our Inside Sprint Cup mobile feature. This week we take a listen in on radio chatter from Texas 2 weeks ago.
Radio check 1 2. 10-4, got you. Check 1 2. I got you there. You got me okay. Got a copy. 10-4.
Texas Motor Speedway, the site of the Samsung 500.
Jeff Gordon, a 47 race losing drought, plus he's never won here at Texas.
Today's about the day, so
Nice and patient, Jeff. Winds is different, tracks different, temperature's different. It's not going to be the guy who has it the best here at the start, the guy who makes the best adjustments, the best pick calls, keeps around to the end. We're going to get you there.
Well, Daryl Waltrip never talks to us on the radio anymore. I don't know. Did you make fun of him or something? No. I made a little bit of fun of Jeff Hammond today, but not Daryl.
David Rudiman on the pole here today at Texas, and the green flag is out.
Move us down to the center, and then when I pick the throttle up a little snug right there. Doing fine. When y'all are all by yourself, you can beat him.
David Rudiman also had a long pit stop. He actually went past his pit stall.
We going to be able to line up like first car, one lap down?
I think so. Man, we can get this back.
Right now, nobody able to challenge Greg Biffle.
Could wait for us a little bit. Yeah, I am. My car's not driving very good now. I don't like the set of tires. Where are you at, okay? Oh, you're right behind me. Right behind you, though. Couldn't even see it by the time we were done with that run. Being all greedy out there, running a half second faster, I'm back here looking like a chump. All right, well, I just wanted to say hi. Keep digging. I was trying to catch the 18. Trying to catch them all, man. Go.
We got a smoker here along the front straightaway.
We'll swipe that grill when we come. We'll put 4 tires on it, bud. It's all you. 5, 4, 3. You see it. Stop on the sign, bud. Clear out, clear out, clear out.
A big change for Carl Edwards. Winning in first, he'll restart this race in the 11th position.
I'm sure we're all upset the same amount here. We're all a team. We know we got to get better, and we just got to work harder and be smarter.
Green flag is back out, and getting a great restart is Jeff Gordon.
You drove the wheels off it all day, so it is what it is, man. All we can do is put ourselves in a position. We've done that.
Pop the champagne. Gordon wins for the first time at Texas Motor Speedway.
Yes, you guys got me a win in Texas. I love you. Woo!
So Jeff Gordon, a big win in many respects. But, you know, I say, guys, he's almost a victim of his own success as far as that goes.
Jeff is, yeah.
Yes,
He said he won so much so early. And what I really am happy for Jeff is he's now being appreciated for who he is and what he's done. And it just seems like when you get stability in your life, you get married, you have children, people all of a sudden think differently of you, and you get your respect. And I'm proud of him for that.
I think that's a good way to look at it right there. Very good.
And you know what? I'm proud for Steve Letarte because it wasn't long ago everybody was about ready to hang that poor guy, all the Jeff Gordon fans. So I'm awfully glad for Steve Letarte as well.
Yeah, I told Rick Hendrick the other day, I said, you need to send Tony Jr. to that same crew chief school that you sent Letarte to because it seemed to work.
David, we were talking about the 2 years that you drove for Ganassi in 2006, 2007 being a little bit of a bumpy road. But what I did see last year, you made one start in the Sprint Cup Series. Now, we know it was not the circumstances you would like. Dario Franchitti got injured in the Nationwide Series race at Talladega a year ago on Saturday. You climbed in that race car, and I know it was Talladega, but I thought at one point you had a race car that could win that race. You led several laps with that car.
Yeah, and I was at a hard point because I was trying to help Ryan and trying to help Juan Pablo, and we're up there messing around, and we got hung out, but had a lot of fun. You know, it showed guys that I could still run with them. But, you know, I've looked at all along. I wanted it to be in the right opportunity. And now I'm at the Penske organization, and there's no other place I want to be. I really enjoy driving for Roger, all the guys that he's put around me. And Roy McCauley's done a great job this year. You know, I got to know him in the shop, but we're on the same page. I mean, he's into it just as much as I'm into the car. I mean, he works all the time. Very hard with the team, and I really enjoy that. And we can normally sit down and discuss what we're going to do to our car, not argue and butt heads or anything, and I really enjoy that part of it.
Well, you mentioned your relationship right there, and we've got Talladega coming up next week. Are you kind of like sitting there thinking you'd like to get back down there because you did so well there?
Well, I think it's going to be a question. I'm really looking forward to it because I know the guys in the engine shop been working very hard because I think we're going to still run the older motor at that place. But they've been working really hard. We felt like we were down a little bit on power at Daytona, but they've worked hard on our cars. That's one of the biggest things is at the organization. They never stop, and they said, hey, look, we're going to keep working on these cars and getting them better. And I've seen some numbers, and they look pretty good. So I'm excited about getting down there. But it's different than Daytona. Daytona was handling, and we can make up for it a little there. But you just got to get in the right line and stay there and draft with the right guys.
Where's that sign? Didn't you say something?
Yeah, I told you, hey, you folks out there, if you'll just make a sign, Listen to me a minute. Listen to me. If you'll make a sign that says it's time to go to break, you'll be on all day long.
Please help me with that. We'll be back with David Stremme when Trackside Live continues from Phoenix International. Glad you're with us here on Speed.
Trackside is brought to you in part by Wrangler, proud sponsor of Dale Earnhardt Jr. Wrangler, real, comfortable jeans.
The NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race is Saturday, May 16th from Lowe's Motor Speedway, and it's on Speed. It's the most spectacular all-star event in all of sports for an unbelievable low price. Tickets start at just $25. Call 1-800-455-FANS or buy online at lowesmotorspeedway.com. But first things first, we are at the Phoenix International Raceway. Good crowd on hand. Always beautiful weather, and look what happened while we were in commercial. Food galore showed up from the Speed Cantina, which is here at the Phoenix International Raceway.
Look at this. You got the Larry Mac Taco.
Larry Mac Taco.
I thought Rachel Ray had dropped by.
Oh, me. Rachel Ray's got nothing
chicken
on us
wrap.
right now. Here's a ham and hamburger.
Oh, yeah.
A Herminator hot dog.
Right down there in front of Mr. Stremme. Yeah.
Hermie
Money's
chips
worth
and
right there.
salsa.
What's Spencer got named after him?
That would be the Jimmy Spencer's Nacho Average Salad.
That would be
Nachos
this.
smothered in cheese and jalapenos.
That would be this right here. That would be Spencer.
You know, I actually like the Rutledge rings, the onion rings. They're pretty good.
They make you cry.
Speaking of Rutledge, he's got to be responsible for this. I'm thinking it's some.
No. This stuff here looks way too good for Rutledge to be involved.
Yeah, it's not burnt. I've seen him cook before.
Good point.
You know, David, I was looking at your website last night, and a lot of times I'll look and see what drivers do outside of racing. But I looked and looked and looked, and you race and you race, and your hobby is racing. What do you do outside of racing to relax just a little bit?
He races.
Well, yeah, that's it. I had.
Because you own a late model stock
Yes.
team, and
We were at Hickory last weekend, and had a guy run there, Matt McCall, which we set quick time, and then we had a problem in the race. But and we were taking care of another kid's car there, and just helping him. But I just relax. You know, during the week, I got my own shop right next to Rusty's place. I go in there, mess around, go into the cup shop. You know, I love what I do, so why do I want to do anything else? But we are redoing. I have a 1989 pontoon boat that we're redoing, and it's kind of a party barge we go out and have some fun on. But that's it. Nothing else.
He likes that.
I like a
boats.
pontoon boat.
Yeah.
I got a 454 in mine.
Oh, yeah. They're trying to get me to change a motor in mine.
Oh, yeah. You get a 454 and you go about 45, 50 mile an hour up the lake on a pontoon boat. And
Hey, y'all, watch this.
And it's got boogity down the side of it.
so you're refurbishing
Open
a
pipes.
1989. Have you ever considered purchasing a 2009
No,
pontoon
why do you
boat?
want to do that? If it flies or floats, you lose money.
Oh, okay.
I just redo that.
David, we were talking a little bit ago when Carl had trouble in the pits, and certainly Greg did too. You're a calm guy. You know, you look like somebody probably control your emotions pretty well. How upset do you get when something like that happens? I mean, you know, people make a big deal about getting on the radio and ranting and raving. How do you handle that?
Well, I think there's a time and place for that. But one of the things I think, and I'm pretty proud of this, is Roy's got to keep me under control. I'm in the car by myself. But one of the things I've always looked at, and a good example was 2 weeks ago at Texas, the line I was running was not, it was working, but it was to the extreme side, and I got in the fence and cost us a top 10. But there's been times this year where we come into pits and we've lost a little. My guys are pretty good in the pits, but we're a team, you know, and some days they're going to be on, some days, you know, I'm going to be on, and when you're both on, you're going to get better results. But like I said, I mean, you just got to know when to take care of that, when to not do it over the radio. There's a time and place for that in private sessions.
Let's talk about this Phoenix International Raceway. A lot of guys, we were saying earlier, say this place is fun but challenging. How does David Stremme view it?
It's just that. You know, in practice, I was doing some qualifying runs, and we were trying to get just one good lap together. I would get 1 and 2 down, and I'd screw up in 3 and 4. I'd get 3 and 4 down and screw up 1 and 2. It is very difficult, very different, both ends, and it's fun as a driver, especially. I've noticed, I got to race here when they had the wall that was in off of turn 2, and since they moved that out, you can really move around in turn 1 and 2 and run higher, and you got some better grip up there. So it's going to be interesting. I love under the lights. I wish the fall race was under the lights too, but we're going to have a lot of fun. And just in practice, you know, guys, we're moving around, and as a driver, you can run on the apron, do whatever.
Would you like some Jimmy Spencer nachos? They're very spicy.
No, I don't think that's going to go good.
He really wants the hot dog.
I'll take that to Kenny.
I tell you what,
He's
the
pretty
Wendy
proud of that.
Venturini boneless buffalo wings are actually pretty good too, I will say. I think I'll have
I
them.
know
Hey,
you ain't sharing them either.
Have you ever seen a boneless chicken?
I think you guys are going to
No,
have tums
no.
with this here.
It's hard to find one.
Boneless chicken. David, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me on.
Wish you the best of luck. Thanks for being with us.
Thank
When
you.
we come back, we'll be joined by Martin Truex Jr. when Trackside Live continues from the Speed Cantina. A boneless chicken. Martin Truex Jr. is a NASCAR Nationwide Series champion. He has a win at the Sprint Cup level, now has his eyes on a championship in NASCAR's Premier Series. And welcome Martin Truex Jr. to Trackside Live in Phoenix.
What's up, guys?
Dude, where are you going, man? Oh, here you are. I don't know where you're headed. I said, what's going on here? It's my end of the table.
Supposed to know these things.
Good to see you, man.
How you doing?
How you feel?
I'm feeling good.
How's them kidney stones?
They went away a while ago.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, it was only one. It's just one of them.
You can. I thought you had them. You only can have.
That was one too many.
Dude, that thing hurt so bad, you have no idea.
Did you just keep it?
Yeah. It's like a trophy.
A souvenir.
Put it in a little container with all of his baby teeth that he saved.
I don't have them. I think my mom might have them, though.
Okay, Burns. Go ahead.
Yeah, are you sure?
I just wanted to know about his little rock.
He has a set of generic questions he asks everybody, but I'm a little curious about the kidney stone one.
Yeah.
No, it's actually it's how's your health?
I got one for you, Martin.
I just appreciate your concern. I'm glad you're looking out for me.
What I'm observing is this merger between DEI and Ganassi. It came very late in the game. It just seems 7 races into it that you guys are not just quite yet reaping the reward for the merger. That it will come in due time, but it's just basically you're in one shop right now working under the same roof.
I think you're right. I think that it got started a little bit late, and we kind of got behind. And instead of focusing on the things that we needed to do to get better, with our race cars and with our race team, we were worried about, moving and who was coming, who was going, what we were doing with sponsorship, and just all the things that you want to worry about, at the end of last year, getting ready for the winter. So I think right now we're just starting to feel some of the benefits. I think our communications got really good, and that's one of the things that I've been really excited about. We're just starting to get on the same page with the 42 and the 1 teams as far as our race cars and what we bring to the racetrack. So today was a good day so far, and this is the closest we've been setup-wise and race car-wise. So I think it's going to get better. The 42's been running strong, and I think we can learn some from that.
Well, not too long ago, you were out here. You tested with this new tire combination. Benefit? I mean, everybody talks about testing and the testing gone away, but it looks like everybody came out here and did this tire test. It looks like it's been pretty fast so far this time.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't think it's all that different than it was last year. I think the tire's very similar. The left side's a little bit softer, but generally when they just soften the left side up, it's not that big of a difference. So the tire's very close. I don't think we've ever had any issues here really, and so far everything's going very well.
Martin, I kind of want to reprise the question I asked David Stremme. This business is about tenths, hundredths, fractions of a second. What will it take you guys to take that next step up to be back in race contention like you have been for so much of your career?
I think it's just going to take a little bit of time, working together with the 42 team. Brian and Patty and Bono have worked really well together so far from what I've seen. And I think we get on the same page. We show up at the racetrack just that much better, that it's going to be good. We've really struggled this year with getting our race cars to turn. Last year we were pretty decent through the middle part of the year, and towards the end of the year it seemed like guys started passing us by, and we kind of started the year again with the same stuff, and I think we just fell behind. So we're going to take a little time to catch up, but we actually went testing this week and learned some things that the other guys were doing that it seems like it's going to help us, and it did here today. So just need a little bit of time and get more of a better, more consistent package in our race car so we can show up and be better off the racetrack.
Any other health questions before I go to break?
No, I
You
only
there?
had that one. And how's the rest of it? Everything else all right?
Everything's good, man.
No. We go to break time. Let's go to break.
Oh, hold up. Sign.
Time to go to break right here. Lady in the front row.
There we go. There we go. Look, nice signs. Good job.
Time now for another racing question from Ask.com, the official search engine of NASCAR. Who holds the Phoenix Sprint Cup record for average speed? If you want the answer now, go to Ask.com, where NASCAR fans go to get answers. Ask.com, official search engine of NASCAR. Join Michael Waltrip, Greg Biffle, and myself Monday on This Week in NASCAR. We'll recap Phoenix and look ahead to Talladega. The big one could be possible at the Super Speedway. We'll review the history of big wrecks at Talladega Monday night, 8 Eastern, only on Speed. Trackside Live back at Phoenix. Jeff Hammond, Larry McReynolds, Steve Burns, Darrell Waltrip hanging out with Martin Truex Jr.
Steve, wait.
Are you
What? What's that voice?
You hear something?
Guys, I'm here.
Where?
I'm at the Speed Cantina.
You're late.
No.
I had something. I had to finish cooking all the
Hey,
food. I
ice
got.
cream boy, you want to calm down over there?
Daryl, I'm excited. I had to get y'all's food up first, and now that Martin's here, I know David took some with him. Martin, look at all this. I can bring you each of these. We've got the Wendy's wings, the Michael Waltrip bone-in wings, the John Roberts jalapeno poppers. And I can't believe, Steve, that you didn't point out that Jimmy Spencer's nacho average salad, that's the first time Jimmy Spencer and salad have ever been mentioned in the same sentence. I can't believe you didn't point that out. That seems obvious. But the good news is we have plenty. We're going to be here at the Speed Cantina later. I'd love to invite you guys. Martin, I know kind of got some things going on this weekend. I'll buy you a burrito.
Well, I appreciate it. I might stop by after qualifying.
Hey, you got
Okay,
any
we've got-
margaritas over there?
There's burritos. There's
margaritas, I said.
Yeah, for you, DW, there are, of course. I know that I really appreciated Larry saying that the Rutledge rings were the best, but I'm going to be honest. I think they really might be the best. Here's what I'm going to say.
I said they were good. I didn't say a word about the best. I said they were good.
I think, you know what? Why don't I try your Larry Mac tacos? Because I feel like if you give me a shout out,
Some good stuff
I
there.
should get. Oh, that is good.
Oh.
I have a question for you, Steve.
Yes, sir. Is that Vegemite?
It's not. Someone told me there's Vegemite in one of these dishes.
Put that on your hot dog.
Marcus Ambrose is playing a joke on me, and there's Vegemite in
You had
something.
a really bad experience with Vegemite.
I don't want to. Let's not talk about that. That's still painful. I think in the words of Harry Carey, it would best be expressed. Hey, Steve.
Yes.
If you were an onion ring and you were starving, would you eat yourself?
Thank you, Rutledge, for that report. What did he just say?
Don't even ask.
Has no
Move
idea.
on.
I think he gets paid by the word.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
Any second now, Daryl's going to say,
No, I'm
Hey,
so afraid that Jimmy Spencer's going to come in and try to help him explain all this.
Martin, you know what Daryl's going to say here in a second? He's going to say, are we really on right now?
Yeah,
Rehearsal.
hey, every guest that comes on here, they say, is this a real show?
Is this real? Yeah. Well, we need to get back to something serious.
We're just
get
hanging
serious
out.
here.
Let's get serious.
We're just hanging out.
We got an all-star race coming up.
Yeah.
And last time I checked, you got a few more races to kind of get yourself into it, but you might need a little bit of help. So,
I hope not.
You know, I'm hoping you don't either. I hope you can go ahead and get yourself a win this weekend and get yourself in the race. But while you're here, we always like to tell guys, take advantage and do a little campaigning.
Yeah.
Get a hold of your fans out there and let them know that if you don't get into victory lane pretty quick, votes will be very, very much needed and appreciated, right?
You know how you got in
recommend?
last, you know how you got in last time? You got your main man campaigning for you.
Well, last time I raced.
Well, you raced
I
your
won
way
the
in
Open.
too, but you opened.
Yep.
The year before, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to call Dale Jr. and say, hey, buddy, I need some help.
Yeah, say, hey, help a friend, help a buddy out here.
Yeah, that'd be good.
You know, speaking of Dale Earnhardt Jr., it was interesting to read the fact, Martin, that you did not actually re-sign with DEI until late in August of last year for 2009. And Dale Earnhardt Jr. was very vocal in saying, even though he was not there anymore, that he was very relieved that you re-signed with DEI. He felt like that was the right place for you, and you were the right driver for DEI.
Yeah, I mean, last year we had a lot of things, that we had to work through, but in the end, I felt good about where I was and how things were going. I didn't see some of what was going to come in the off season, but it all turned out to be positive, I think. So, I'm happy with the way things are going. Like I said, we need to, work harder on our race cars and on our program to be better on the racetrack. But, as far as off the racetrack, I'm happy with the way things are, and you know, I love working for them, so it's great.
What do you mean we're just hanging out? I thought this was a well-oiled machine.
No. This is a hanging out. Sometimes you just hang out. It's a hangout show. There's a show on the HD net, I think it is, Hanging Out, or Get Out, or something like that.
I think we got a section coming up here in a minute that we can kind of like give to Daryl.
Hold the sign up.
Give him the lazy boy.
That's
Give him
what
the
I've been
lazy
waiting
boy
for.
section.
Where's the sign?
Break!
Go to break. Go to break. Go to break. The crowd will go to break. Thankfully, we'll be right back here on Speed.
Trackside is brought to you in part by Wrangler, proud sponsor of Dale Earnhardt Jr. Wrangler, real, comfortable jeans.
Trackside Live, also known as Hanging Out with Darrell Waltrip, is back, and they're at the Lazy Boy Lounge.
Hey, Martin. Now, this is the way to do a TV show right here, buddy.
This is living.
Huh?
It's all right here.
You kick back. We can talk about anything you want to. What do you want to talk about?
It's up to
Let's
you.
talk about golf. You told me you're pretty good.
I'm pretty amazing. I wouldn't say I'm good. I can do some amazing shots.
You do trick golf?
Yeah, it involves hitting things, breaking things, and that's about it.
How about a bow and arrow? You ever shoot a bow and arrow?
I shoot a bow and arrow a lot. I actually went to the PSC factory yesterday. PSC is a big bow company. They make the best bows in the world, and I went there and toured their factory yesterday, so that was really cool.
I mean, you're talking about those they're serious bow, and they're not the kind of like cowboys and Indians.
No, compound bow. Yep.
Compound bow?
Compound bow. They got wheels on them and cams and all that stuff.
Really?
Pretty cool.
And you shoot one?
I do, absolutely. I hunt with one, and I shoot one for fun.
Well, I bet you. I had no idea. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy doing it.
Let me ask you, when DEI and they merged with Gann, and then they merged with Ganassi, do they sit you down and say, what do you think about this? Do they come in and say, we're going to have a little meeting, and we're all going to get together, we're going to talk about whether this is a good thing, a bad thing, how you feel about it?
I don't think I've ever really got that, that much input on it. I think that they kind of let me know what was going on and why they were doing it, and they give all the reasons of why it's going to be good. And so far, I think that, they've been honest and truthful, and everything has really worked out like they said. So I don't think they came in and said, hey, should we do this or not? And if I said no, they weren't going to do it. But, they gave me, the benefit of the doubt, I guess, and just let me know what was going on and kept me in the loop all the time, and I really appreciated that.
When this season started, I mean, I really, you won the pole at Daytona. I said, man, that merger and this little combination looks like the hot tip. Looks it's going to work out pretty well. But really and truly, you made the chase, 2 years ago? And things haven't really got that kind of performance since, what was that, 07?
Yeah, I mean, last year we were close, We didn't perform like we did in 2007. We really, we only had a shot at probably winning one race last year. I felt like that was Darlington. And, we just weren't top 5 material all the time. We weren't, competing for wins. And we were still right there on the outside of making the chase when we had the penalty at Daytona last year and all that stuff happened and kind of took us out of it. But I was really looking forward to this year and excited about going to Daytona. I knew we'd be fast down there, and we were. So that was exciting. And, we had a good run in the 500, not great, but we finished 11th and went to Vegas and actually had a fairly decent car, and we had some trouble. And since then, we've just kind of been, we just haven't hit on anything. We've just been kind of sour. So we've been working hard. It was good to have a week off. Like I said, we went and did some testing, and we're starting to, get our cars like the 42, which they've run very well this year. They've had a few top 10s and stuff. So we're just trying to get on the same page and figure out what we need to do to be better.
Do you miss Dale Jr.? And I don't mean, I know you see him all the time. I don't mean that kind of miss him, but you were brought to DEI really because, well, Richie Gilmore probably had something to do with it, but Dale Jr., you rented a house from Dale Jr., you lived with Dale Jr., and then when he kind of just up and left you over there, did you miss his, leadership, guidance, friendship, whatever?
Yeah, I did. I really enjoyed racing with Dale, and not only just was he a great friend of mine, we worked very well together. We loved to race together. We enjoyed, being competitors. We enjoyed pushing each other, to be better. And I think it was a great, it was a great relationship. But obviously, the things in this sport change. People come, people go, and that's just one of the things that we're faced with. So I do miss him sometimes. I enjoy racing with him, but we're still good friends, and I see him here at the track all the time, and I talk to him during the week, and none of that's really ever changed.
Well, I mean, we've had food. I found out you're healthy, and that's good to know. I don't have time to get into how your love life's going.
I'm glad you.
Next time you're on the show, we're going to go there. Okay, we'll have a little DW and Martin conversation about how your love life's going.
That sounds great.
But until then, we'll just kind of hang out, But until then, hey, folks, we're going to step away for a second, and we'll be right back here at Trackside Live, Phoenix, Arizona.
Trackside is presented by new Shell nitrogen enriched gasolines.
Next week, we're at Sweet Home, Alabama, Talladega Super Speedway. Big show. Guests include Jeff Gordon, Michael Waltrip, Kevin Harvick. They are all confirmed. Big question is, will Larry McReynolds be wearing his Bear Bryant hat?
Oh, absolutely. I have to. Little houndstooth.
The houndstooth hat. 7:30.
I'm going to wear my UK hat.
It's okay. You guys go in whatever you want to. I'm going to wear my Carolina Tar Heel hat, which means we're national champions. Thank you very kindly.
Enjoy it, because it ain't going to last.
Don't matter. We're the top of the heap right now.
My cats are coming after
you. Bring it on.
Coming after you.
Bring it on. Hey, speaking of bringing things on, tell us about your foundation. I understand you guys have got a little kind of phrase you guys called helping on, hooked on helping.
Yeah.
And how's that going?
It's going great. We've got a lot of things going on with our foundation. We're helping a lot of people, helping kids mostly. We've got some partners up in New Jersey, where I'm from, and some partners in North Carolina, where I live now. So we're going to have our second annual. Larry was at our golf tournament last year, and it went so well, and we had so much support that we're going to have it again this year. September 22nd, we're having a poker tournament in Atlantic City. September 23rd, or I got that backwards. September 22nd, 23rd, we have a golf tournament and a poker tournament near Atlantic City. So
I play better golf than Daryl does, and I can beat Larry playing poker.
Well, if y'all are invited, come on out. It'll be a good time. We'll raise a lot of money to help some kids, and it'll be great.
Martin, to some degree, you followed in your dad's footsteps, Martin Truex Sr., because shortly after you turned 18 years old, you ran your very first modified race at Wall Stadium Speedway. And then later on in the season, probably maybe next to winning Dover, one of the biggest wins of your career, you won the prestigious Wall Stadium Turkey Derby, a race that actually your dad had won earlier in his career.
Yeah, I did. I followed pretty much everything my dad has ever done. I worked on clam boats when I was 16. He probably started when he was 12. But, I raced at Wall. I raced modifieds. I raced in the Busch North Series after that in his car. And, I kind of just did everything he did. I just did it a little bit quicker and was able to, be fortunate enough to get opportunities that I've had that have brought me here. But my dad's been a huge part of this. He's really the reason I got to where I'm at. He's still a big part of what I do, and enjoy having him around at the racetrack on the weekends.
Yeah, Hammond's won several Turkey Derbies himself.
They just won at Wall Stadium.
Real quick, no nationwide racing so far this year.
No, I don't have any on my schedule for this year yet. I had some, but I almost had it worked out to drive some races for a friend of mine, and it just fell apart. So.
Hey, speaking of turkeys right quick, how big was that turkey and how many beards did he have that you killed the other day with Bill Jordan?
Had 3 beards. I don't know how big it was. I don't know how much. We don't weigh.
I thought you said how many beers had the turkey.
I did too.
Turkey drinking beer?
I said a guy in the pit.
Feed the turkey beer, didn't you shoot it?
Got a beard.
No,
beard.
Makes it easier.
2 beer works on your car.
No, he works on Newman's car now.
On Newman's car.
Yeah.
Like you feed a poor turkey beer and then shoot him. That's unfair.
That's where you get the expression shooting fish in a barrel.
That's it.
That's a ham and turkey chew right there.
Hanging out.